This is Cinquo the Hobbit, and this is part 4 of my adventures. I don't need to use my bow in this part. It's about the things that happened when I first got home. So, if you just want to see the fighting, you can move on to the next part. But I spoke to the postman,
Just a moment.
presented that letter that would let me trade with him, and I got hold of a bunch more healing potions. There, I got plenty now.
Have you already been to the Mitchell Delving Craft Fair? You should definitely go, if you haven't already. There's a workbench, a forge, and even an oven just waiting to be used. If you think you have crafting in your heart, you should visit my friend Emerald Borings at the craft fair. She's always happy to help someone get started making useful and pretty things.
Yeah, well, I will go down the crafting centre later, but in front of my house, I just thought I'd unpack some of the gifts that some friends of mine had sent. They heard I was going adventuring and had a lot of gifts for me. Armour and jewellery that are all lucky charms. The first charm let me learn more quickly how to fire me bow and other things. And then there came armour of the medium kind, sort of toughened leather, but it was a jacket, gloves, shoulders, pants, and a helmet. Also a pair of boots. Now, other hobbits look down on me for wearing boots, but protection is protection, I say. There were a couple of rings, a couple of bracelets, and a necklace. Or one earring. I already had my excellent elvish earring that I told you about way back in the first part. But these things were made of copper. And considered good luck by hobbits. Of course, I would have to sell my old stuff. I needed some money in my purse for becoming a bounder and seeing what troubles there were around the Shire. Well, all kitted out with the new stuff. Ooh, that helmet's a bit big for me, but it will ward off blows. This helmet, I suppose, was meant to ward off blows. It's very hot and weighs a lot, as many a hobbit knows. And now, I summon my horse. Now, he's all kitted out with fancy stuff, but he's only just a pony. Waterfall looks nice, doesn't it? We got 2 in Little Delving. There's no place like home. Now, I'm going from Little Delving to Mitchell Delving, the capital of the Shire. Well, it's called that because that's where the mayor of the Shire lives. Along the road, if you look up this valley, You can see your way to Hobbiton and Boywater. Mr. Frodo comes from Hobbiton. Living at Bag End he was, but it's Lobelia Sackville Baggins living there now. Here we are in the capital. Now the first thing I thought I'd do is set me milestone. When you get a milestone set clear in your head, you can quickly come back here. It'll be more useful set at the capital rather than little delving.
Is there something I can do for you?
So you were sent my way, were you? Of course, we can use any hobbit of goodwill we can find. Help out as many Shire folk as you can, and you'll rise through the ranks. All who would protect the people of the Shire are welcome. We hobbits are a peaceful folk, and our cares may seem of small importance to others. The delivery of the mail, the tasting of fine foods, the lighting of fireworks, but do not be misled. Our peaceful ways are threatened, and danger can be found in the unlikeliest places. Aid the Shire folk with their daily concerns, but if you travel to more distant villages, such as Needlehole, Overhill, or Brockenborings, bring a weapon with you bounder.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Hello there. You wouldn't mind helping me out with a game of hiders and seekers, would you? You see, my friends Daisy and Polo have convinced me to play, even though they always hide in the same places. It isn't nearly as much fun when your friends are so unimaginative, as I'm sure you realize. It would be fantastic if you could round 'em up for me.
Right, here's that first fella hiding. He wasn't hard to find at all. Out in the middle of the square. Does he think that tree was gonna hide him? Now here's a central market. There's some houses just up this way. A couple of women wanting favours. Well, maybe I'll come back later for that. And here I stumbled on Daisy.
Rollo sent you to look for me. Oh, he always gives up so easily. I'm not sure that you can do that in a game of hiders and seekers. I'm pretty sure it's against the rules. If you don't find the hiders yourself, you aren't much of a seeker, are you? Anyway, I'll wait here until Rollo finds everyone else. This is a great hiding spot, isn't it?
How'd you do?
Alf sent you to me. Good, good. We need more good folk with an interest in making useful and pretty things. I will give you a few coins to get you started. Use them wisely, and consider them an investment in your future as a skilled craftsman. You must be Cinquo. I have been awaiting your arrival, and I am very excited to see that our letter found you well. I am pleased to make your acquaintance. I am here to help you through the very first stages of learning a craft. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me.
Might I have a word with you?
Speak with Amir in the greenhouse. He has offered to teach all the newest farmers the basics.
Could I take a moment?
The supplier here is willing to instruct you further in your study of forestry.
Please.
You will want to speak with Belba Bracegirdle over near the workbench. She has volunteered her time and energy to teach all the new apprentices.
Is there something I can do for you?
My old bow I made at home. To use the equipment here, I have to train in 3 areas. Forestry, farming, and of course woodworking. These trainers are giving me some gear,
Hello?
some raw materials. Gotta open all their crates. But I'm getting some wood and something to plant. Now, forestry. We have to take some raw hide and make some decent leather out of it. And some branches of wood and turn them into decent usable stuff. Now, woodworking. I can make all kinds of wooden weapons, but of course what I want is a bow. I can't make daggers for myself.
Is there something I can do for you?
So I've handed in or shown the supplier what I've done. Here we are, chipping away at making that bow. That fellow there named Slightly is slightly in me way.
What do you need?
Right, done with the woodworking. And this bow is better than anything given to me on my adventures. I think I did pretty well. Now we've got a proper workbench and decent wood to work with.
Oh,
Now, I want to sell off the things I don't need. That should put a bit of money in my purse. I'll repair my tools. That was one of the gifts that I was sent. But I'd rather make my own weapon than my own armour. Since I know so I'm very good at making medium armour. And sent me all this gear I'm wearing now. And it's not just the helmet that's heavy. These brassets, truth to tell, may look uncommon well, but in a fight they're much too tight, they're like a lobster shell. These things I treat the same, I quite forget their name. They turn one's legs to cribbage pegs. Their aid I thus disclaim. This tight-fitting cuirass is but a useless mass. It's made of steel and weighs a deal. A man is but an ass that fights in a cuirass. Well, that's how the poem goes, but I'm wearing leather, so I don't have to worry about carrying masses of metal around.
Hello there. Stay and have some
At any rate, Odo has a reputation for being the best hider in all the Shire, at least as good as old Bilbo was in his day, or so it's said among folk in the Bird and Baby. I don't know if it's true, but I do know that, unlike Daisy and Polo, Odo Pipes is sure to have a capital hiding place, the very best. I'll have more coins for you if you can find him. He'll be hiding somewhere in Mitchell Delving, so don't wander too far.
I could see him from down below.
Hello there.
You found me. Very well done indeed. Next time I'll need to choose a better hiding place, I suppose. I thought this one was perfect. You should return to Rollo and tell him that he knows how to choose good seekers.
How do you do?
You found Odo Pipes? Excellent. He was on top of the Bird and Baby Inn the whole time. He must have some Tookish blood in him. You'd never get me up there, I can tell you that. Here are the coins I promised you, and take my thanks as well. If they ever get me to play hiders and seekers again, I'll be sure to let you know. That way you can give me a stern talking to and ask me what I was thinking.
I'd risen to a level of skill that the Hunters Guild would call 8th level. There was a few more things I could do. From the crafting centre, I was able to see at a distance any good usable wood, and I was able to open a new gift. It had in it some antidotes to poison, but I already had loads of those and they wouldn't mix together, so I just got rid of them. The shoes Rollo Newbuck gave me were not as good as what I already had. It was now easier for me to work up my focus for a very carefully aimed shot. So I was going to start now with a dagger throw, use the focus that gained me to do a barrage, and then do a quick shot if necessary.
Could I take a moment of your time?
This is outrageous. I will not be satisfied until I receive compensation for my treatment at the hands of those Blackwolds. I have been most ill-used, and it is more than any hobbit would stand. A Sackville Baggins should be able to travel throughout the Shire and even into Bree Land, if he wishes it, without danger of being abducted. And when a Sackville Baggins is promised gold, he had better receive some gold when the whole thing is done with. It is only fair. I wrote this letter while you were off looking for John Brackenbrook. It doesn't include the business with the brigands burning Archit or that ranger becoming so queer, but it's sure to be enough for old Flower Dumpling. Take my letter to Mayor Whitfoot in Mitchell Delving. He'll be just outside Town Hall, which will be to your left, surrounded by hedges, when you enter town.
Typical of a Sackville Baggins, always moaning. But I suppose I'll take his letter down to the mayor. Next time, that is. Let's mount up and get back to Mitchell Delving. See you next time.